everyone. Today's Sunday. Our next author has not one but two cookbooks out that can save you time, money, and actually your sanity when trying to prepare home-cooked meals. Please welcome the author of Make It Fast, Cook It Slow, and here's the follow-up book, More Make It Fast, Cook It Slow. Please welcome Sydnie O'Day. And Sydnie, thanks for joining us. We are talking about slow cooker recipes, and I love the story about how you decided to write a cookbook.
It was a fluke thing. I began working at home for an online ad agency, and I needed to start a blog in order to understand my job better. And I liked the idea of a cooking blog because you're not sharing too many personal information details with the internet. And so I liked a food blog, and I joked with my husband, but I don't really cook, and I just use my crock-pot slow cooker. And so the idea just kind of came together like that, and so in 2008 I had a New Year's resolution to use the slow cooker every day for a year, and I did it.
You did. It was sort of like a Julie and Julia. You said, I'm going to do this. And, well, the fact that you have a couple of kids, too, that probably you had to get supper on the table.
That was helpful. I truly do use my slow cooker often because it's just not safe to be chopping vegetables during their cranky witching hours, and I love that I can put it on early in the morning when everybody's happy and cheerful in the kitchen.
I have a slow cooker. It gathers dust except for once or twice a year when I put a pot roast in it. But you've got desserts, you've got vegetables, all sorts of things. What is it about a slow cooker that works for everyone, for anyone who needs to cook?
I think a lot of people are beginning to realize that they need to trim their budget. And the easiest way to trim the budget is with your groceries and cooking at home from scratch. And the easiest way to cook from scratch is to toss it all in, push a button, and leave the house for a day. And it simmers, everything simmers in its own juices. Before I began my challenge in 2008, I did think of the slow cooker as kind of a glorified pot roast machine. And it wasn't until I began using it every day that I discovered you can do cheesecake, you can do creme brulee, and
Bananas Foster, I saw that in there as well.
You can.
How many recipes have you come up with?
This has over 500 between the two books. The first one has 338 out of the 366 I did in 2008. 2008 was leap year. Nobody told me that when I started. Yeah, and then the next book are budget-friendly recipes because I realized that while I do make an awfully mean lobster bisque in the slow cooker, it's probably not the most practical for most busy families. And so the new book is keeping things family-friendly, kid-friendly, and doable.
And what's good, too, most of these recipes are gluten-free?
Actually, they're all gluten-free. Okay. We happen to have a gluten intolerance in our family, and we just decided it'd be easier for us to all eat gluten-free while at home. If you're not gluten-free, just ignore my notes. They're in parentheses.
Okay, is there anything that hasn't ever worked in the slow cooker? Did you ever really have some bomb recipes?
I did. Oh, this is embarrassing. I thought I could hard-boil eggs. You cannot.
You can?
No, it's a horrible mess.
I guess an egg cooking for what, 6 to 8 hours is...
No, it was bad. They turned green. They smelled. I thought I could get fancy and use it as a food dehydrator and make some fruit roll-ups for the kids. And that did not work. But I did discover you can make yogurt, which is fantastic because after reading how yogurt machines work and the slow cooking method, I thought, well, let's just try this out.
Give me an idea, just quickly. What do you put in?
A half gallon of yogurt with some, you need to start with store-bought live active cultures. And you have that, put that in, cook on low, and then after a while, unplug it, wrap it with a beach towel to keep it warm and cozy. And in the morning, you wake up to yogurt. You can strain it with a coffee filter if you'd like it thicker, Greek style. That's what my kids like, and they squirt some honey in there.
Wow, that sounds great. One of the things, a lot of people who don't cook that often, they think leaving something on while you go to work and just leaving it plugged in, is that safe? But slow cookers these days have really come a long way.
They do. There are two things. I recommend getting a programmable slow cooker, especially if you're out of the house all day long. A good one you can find for about $50 online. And what is nice about them is you can set the cooking time for 6 or 8 hours, and even if you're out of the house for 12 to 14, it will click over to a warm setting and keep your food warm. As safety-wise, the New York Post actually had a team of firefighters test them out, and they decided that it was just as safe as leaving a desk lamp on throughout the day. And you've got it in the middle of a safe countertop. I wouldn't leave piles of paper and whatnot around.
Right.
So.
But just think, I mean, if you could start something in the morning, come home, it's cooked, and you relax with your kids, that would be
It's nice for
a
us.
wonderful dream.
I do try and limit our activities, But between 4 and 6, we've got soccer practice, we've got Girl Scouts. It's a busy time. And I've got a 1-year-old, and she's not the nicest. Come 5 p.m. She doesn't want mommy stir frying.
And I have to say, I think I got my first slow cooker when I graduated from college. So if you got anybody heading off to school, get them a cookbook, get them a slow cooker, and they will not starve to death, right?
Yeah, actually, I've gotten quite a few emails from people living in sorority and fraternity houses. It seems to be the hit. They pitch in, they grocery shop, they put on a pot of beans, and they can all eat for a good meal for relatively inexpensively.
Stephanie and Dave, thanks so much for joining us. And you can purchase both of Stephanie's Make It Fast, Cook It Slow books online and also at your local bookstores. Also, Stephanie's got recipes on her blog. Again, crockpot365.blogspot.com. Great recipes too. Thanks, Stephanie. We'll be back more by Sunday after this.